it's a distinct honor for me to introduce the next APTA Hall of Fame inductee, Chris Gambino. When Chris first emerged in the scene in the late 90s, we in the Midwest kept getting all these phone calls from guys in the East Coast. This is the next big thing that's happened, right? This is Chris. So we started calling him jokingly the Great Gambino. Who is this Great Gambino? Sure enough, the guy shows up with Milbank charities like the next year, and they get to the semis, barely losing to the team that won. So we weren't able to kind of make fun of him anymore. So, but it was quite an initiative. And when you really look at his platform tennis record, it is truly incredible. So 3 men's open national titles, 1 mixed national title with Gary Dion, an incredible record with his longtime partner, Dave Ohlmuller. And then he's won with a whole host, a variety of other partners. So he's clearly established himself as one of the greats in our game. But what really makes it special this evening is, and what's in really a truly remarkable honoree is the other things that he brings and the other qualities he brings to the table. As a senior in high school, Chris won let me get this right, the Henry Benish Sportsmanship Award, and he's continued that tradition of sportsmanship through to paddle tennis, which is something that all of us deeply admire. And I would say that, in addition to his incredible abilities in the court, he's just highly respected by everybody, that he plays with in terms of league players, tournament players. Just has a great easygoing manner and great loyalty to his friends and his partners. And he's got, this great self-effacing way about him that just is really neat as well. On the court, he's kind of blended this incredible talent with a fierce competitive streak, as we all know, and a highly intelligent approach to the game. I've had the pleasure of playing him many times, very, very few times, coming out on the winning end of that, but it's been a real pleasure. And the other thing he's been able to do is very few players have the ability to do this, but he raises his game right in the critical times, and that's happened over and over again, and that's why you get to win as many national titles as he has. So really special. Oops. There we go. His list of partners is quite talented in its own right, but they're also fairly quirky. So you can get a whole list. I'll go through the list here so you can see. Ohlmuller, Milbank, Cochran, Rogers, Fiedler, Mansinger, Stulak, Roderick, and Jay Woldenberg, along with Van Silla and Cesarinsky. So quite a crew, but he's managed to blend his game with theirs and be successful with all of them. And Chris himself can be a little bit quirky. So in Chicago, we've kind of taken the nickname to him as the one-arm paper hanger. So it's after a character in the Fugitives, because when he hits, he's got this one arm that just kind of stays like that the whole time. He goes everything. You watch him sometime, but it's fun to watch. And he's also very quirky in terms of how he prepares, right? So anybody who tries to give him an exercise regime, right, it's just toast, right? And then he's actually fairly famous for his weight regimen, right? So he basically, is like a wrestler. So, 2 weeks before a tournament, he loses 20, 25 pounds, then he's ready to go. But anyway, it's a great pleasure and honor for me to introduce him and say he's been my friend for 15 to 20 years. And, the paddle community has and continues to have, and be very lucky to have a special player in person like him. So, as knowing part of the game. So, Steve, I think you've got a jacket to present.
thanks for the kind introduction. And you know, one of the things I was a little nervous about this week is the weight fluctuations you were talking about. Would I fit into the jacket? I mean, would it be? The sizes can fluctuate. So, thank you, Scott. I feel the same way about you. You're such a great player, such a great competitor, and you're doing such a great job this year as president. And I think the APTA is headed in the right direction. So, congratulations to you. So, so I stand here before everyone tonight, incredibly humbled and very proud to be inducted into the APTA Hall of Fame. I'd like to thank Steve Baird and the Hall of Fame Selection Committee for nominating me, and the APTA Board of Directors for supporting my nomination. I felt a little nervous all week, not just because of the tournament or preparing the speech, but I started a new job this week on Tuesday. So I spent all day Monday trying to figure out how to tell the CEO that I'm going to be out Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for a paddle tournament. So and of course he's like, is paddle? Is that a sport? Yeah, I'm like, check the YouTube, the APTA. But so when Hall of Famer Steve Baird called me last month to let me know that I was being nominated, at first I was shocked, then I was overwhelmed with pride and joy. And it's funny, when I started playing, I talked to Bill Fiedler and a bunch of different people, and they said, you wouldn't believe how good, Steve Barrett is, or Rich Mayer, or, Hank Irvine, and it's just an honor to be, in the same club as those guys. It's, I've gotten to know everyone, and the great thing about paddle is I think, everyone stays in the game somehow. So, that was really important for me. So, this nomination's given me time to reflect on the 20 years or so that I've been fortunate enough to play the sport that we all love. I remember being introduced to the game of platform tennis because I was trying to get a job that required platform tennis. So John Milbank was able to introduce me. So, yeah. So he invited me to play at what was the club? Morristown Field Club, and it was me and Bill Grassmeyer against him and Jay Graham. And I remember getting so frustrated. I'd hit 20 great volleys in a row, and somehow I'd lose the point, and it drove me crazy. I couldn't sleep at night thinking, how can I win these points? And finally I got it. But John and I played a lot of tournaments together, had a great time, and John's one of the, the best pros out there, and anyone, at the, where he is right now should be really happy to have him as a pro, because he's a great guy and a good friend of mine, and I enjoyed playing with him. So I started playing with a guy named Dave Ohlmiller in my second full year of paddle. We won our first 3 tournaments together and finished the year ranked 1. Dave, at his best, I think, was arguably one of the best players to play the game. He could take a match over and had a huge forehand and played the screens better, in my opinion, than anyone I've ever seen. We had great results, but more importantly, we developed a great friendship. Dave and I did have one major argument one time, which could have derailed everything. And we were headed to Lehigh, Pennsylvania tournament, and I was about to exit because my gas gauge was below empty. So Dave said, "What are you doing? Why are you turning?" I said, "It's below empty." He goes, "Let's wait till the next exit. We have plenty of time." So 35 miles later, no exit, and we ran out of gas. So sure enough, it took another hour for a cop to get there, another hour for a tow truck to give us a gallon of gas, and then 40 more minutes to find a gas station around that area. So we got to Lehigh. We were down 5-love in 5 minutes to Fred Gambino and his partner. And somehow we rebounded, won the match, won the tournament, and it all turned out okay. But the good news is we made up, and Dave ended up being the best man at my wedding. And Dave's like a brother to me, and I'm glad I told him to shave his beard today. So, speaking of great partners, the one year I played mixed nationals, I was lucky enough to pair up with Jerry Vian, Hall of Famer Jerry Vian. And I can see why Jerry is considered one of the best teachers in the game, because she supplied us with an incredible game plan for each match. She hardly made any mistakes and guided us to the title. She's a true Hall of Famer. So in 2011, I hope I get the year right, but Drew Broderick and I started playing together. Drew's an incredible player. He has every shot in the book, and I have played full tournaments with him where he has missed less than 5 lobs the entire tournament. Drew's an incredible competitor, and in 2012 we went undefeated and won a national title. There was only one downside to playing with Drew. For some reason, before playing a match, Drew will spray cologne on himself. And sometimes it would take me 4 or 5 games to just get out of the haze. But Jared knows. But all kidding aside, Drew's having a great year. Congratulations on last year, and they have more national titles ahead of them. So congratulations to Drew and Jared. So as far as the present, I'm thrilled to be playing with Matek Serwinski for hopefully the first year of many years to come. Matek's a great player, a great guy, and a good friend. Matek is also very health conscious and likes to get a good night's sleep, which has helped me play a little better at 8 a.m. matches. God knows I would not be in the Hall of Fame if all my matches were at 8 a.m. So as I reflect over the last 20 years, I realize that paddle has given me many great memories and many great friendships. I will always think back to how special the rivalry Dave-O and I had with the great Flip Goodspeed and Scott Mansinger. How can anyone not respect what Flip and Scott were able to do? 9 national championships, 9. That's remarkable. As far as friendships go, there are too many to count. Just yesterday, playing on our squad's President's Cup team, you realize everyone on our team are not just good players, but they're more importantly quality people. Another example is the Chicago Men's League, which now has almost 4,000 men playing in it. It's very competitive, but at the end of the day, everyone becomes good friends through time. One more example is the team I play on, the Midtown Paddle team, led by our captain, Gerani Barnes, also known as the Future. The core of our team has been together for 8 years, and it feels like a fraternity. In closing, I would like to thank and congratulate the APTA, the board and volunteers, for doing a great job of moving our great sport forward. Each tournament, each event gets better and better. I played the Philly tournament 2 weeks ago, and I couldn't believe how organized and well run it was. Scott Bondurant's doing a great job in his first year as APTA president. Mark Fischel and Jerry Vian are doing a great job with the live streaming initiative, giving lots of exposure to our growing sport. The Grand Prix program has been a home run, in my opinion, and the ranking committee has done wonders to explain the system and give transparency to all who compete. And finally, to my parents who are watching with my sister Jeannie on live streaming, without their love and guidance, I could have never have achieved this honor. In conclusion, I'm so happy to be able to share this award with my wife, Elizabeth. It was a little over 5 years ago today that I first saw Elizabeth, and I've been madly in love with her ever since. She is my best friend and my soulmate, and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with her. Thanks again to everyone for this great honor. God bless you.